If you're a resident of Ontario, I'm here to remind you that your province is the largest province in Canada, with 121 out of 338 seats in the House of Commons. Every vote counts, and it's your responsibility to be informed. Are you nervous now? Worried that it's too late to do just that? Well, not so fast. Let's get into all things Ontario this election season. There are a lot of ridings in Ontario that swing between Liberal and Conservative, and sometimes Liberal and NDP. For example, in 2011, the Conservatives won 73 seats, but in 2015, the Liberals got 80 and the Conservatives only picked up 33. It's a suburban belt around Toronto, which often determines which party comes into power, and whether it's going to be a majority or minority government. There are 50 seats up for grabs in 2 different regions, which is about 15% of the entire country. But often these seats flip, so whichever party is voted in provincially won't be voted in federally. And since 1867, in 78% of provincial elections held in Ontario, the winning party was ideologically different than the one controlling the Prime Minister's office at the time. And we can't be sure if people are doing this intentionally, but it is an important thing to note. Ontario also flipped from a Liberal provincial government to a Conservative one in 2018. And since then, Premier Doug Ford's approval rates have been dropping, which the Liberals have tried to use to their advantage as much as possible.
Don't seem to believe in investing for the future. They only think as far as the next election, not the next generation.
Plus, the Liberals have to worry about the NDP possibly splitting the progressive vote. The bellwether region around Toronto includes Richmond Hill, where 3 in 5 residents are immigrants. Many of them also carry large mortgages, leaving families with little financial flexibility, meaning any rise in the cost of living is a serious concern. This is why more of these communities are considering voting Conservative, under the lure of tax cuts. Rosedale High Park is another example of a swing riding in the general Toronto area. It has bounced back and forth between the Liberal and the NDP for the last 5 federal elections. Affordable housing is a big focus in this riding, but that's also a huge focus across Ontario. Another example of a possible swing riding is Windsor, Ontario. The Liberal Party is focusing in on this NDP territory. And how exactly are they doing this? Through the promise of legalizing single game betting, arguing it would provide lots of jobs at the casino. So every election season in Ontario, reliable and affordable transit is an important issue that is brought up. In Toronto, it's the TTC, with plenty of people coming in and out from suburbs to Toronto. However, what typically happens is that federal parties only commit a portion of the funds necessary to bring these projects to completion. Over in Ottawa, the Liberals, Conservatives, and NDP have all spoke in support of a Stage 2 LRT, Ottawa's light rail transport system. The $4.7 billion project would extend Ottawa's light rail by 44 kilometers and 24 stations. Going over to a different part of the province, in shoreline communities in Western Ontario, record-breaking flooding is a major concern. Just last May, water levels on Lake Ontario were a meter higher than average, resulting in $74 million in insured flood damage. The federal environment minister, along with many others, have said climate change is responsible for these floods. But others blame Plan 2014, which is a water regulation plan, saying they never experienced a flood until the plan was implemented. This is devastating not only at an environmental level, but an economic one too, affecting the real estate and tourism industry. So those are some of the key ridings and major concerns for Ontario voters. Now, don't get too comfortable just quite yet. This is really only the tip of the iceberg, but every step towards being informed is a step in the right direction. Ontario's vote could decide this election. Oh, that rhymes with direction. As always, stay posted for more Postable. Happy voting, and I'll see you next time.